Alright guys, welcome to another Storm Connections video, and in this video I just wanted to go over the gameplay changes that we've recently discovered. Shout out Gloku for bringing this information to us and trying out the game and just letting us know more information about the game. So I'm just trying to answer, are these gameplay changes positive or negative? And we're going to go through each one. So the first one that we found out about is that Chakra Region has been increased. So if you don't know what chakra regeneration is, it's the rate at which your chakra recovers without you charging it, basically. So this has always been in Storm 4. It's not a new feature they've added, but Globeku mentions that it has been increased to the point where you don't really need to charge chakras.
You can still stop and manually charge chakra and that will be faster, but the way the game is right now, I don't think you'll ever need to do that.
So we're not sure about how much they increased it, like how fast it is. I'm going to give you a little gameplay example, which could be the rate that they've increased it to, or it could be more. So if you're awakened with Sakura, your chakra recovery is increased. So this could be the rate at which we're going to be using it in Storm Connections. So that's going to be interesting because you're not gonna really have to charge chakra in the neutral. So it kind of eliminates those dead moments, which is a positive. Standing around charging chakra isn't really entertaining, it isn't fun, and then obviously if we're taking it to competitive, it's not really fun as a spectator. But the issue that this could cause if they don't balance switch tech, because Globeku did confirm switch tech is still in the game, jutsu buffering, combo switching, all of that. It could create a spam centered neutral. Like we kind of already have that in the meta, but this could make it even worse due to the chakra region. So unless they balance that and actually make switch jutsus cost chakra, we could be looking at a switch spam city, honestly, within ranked, within the competitive, unless they actually balance it and make it cost a resource, because currently it doesn't. And in Evo, it does. They've made changes. Blake and his team has made changes to make it cost chakra. But I think we need that change now more than ever. But in terms of creating a more entertaining neutral and a more entertaining spectator sport in terms of game, I think they've definitely made a positive change there, because it's going to allow you to play more aggressive, especially you NA players that love playing close range and love playing that close range boxing game. That will definitely support that playstyle and allow you to have more fun with the game.
While I was playing against the producer, I was blocking their pressure and I tried to tilt out of their block string. And every time I tried using tilt, it just never worked. So at some point I just asked, hey, is tilt gone? And the answer is yes. Kind of. So the tilt input is definitely gone. If you tilt the stick and hit the attack button, no move will come out anymore. But every character now has a new thing, which is a second jutsu. Yes, every character now has 2 ninjutsu instead of just 1. And what used to be the tilt move on all the characters that are right now in Storm 4 is now their second ninjutsu.
So I'm going to be honest, this is a real interesting change. And I'm not sure how this is going to affect the competitive scene, because currently the primary way to get out of guard pressure is through tilts, whether it's tilting through your opponent's character gap and then punishing them off it, or converting, tilt switch counter to universally get out of any guard pressure, or ninja moving out of their guard pressure, but that's character specific with characters like Danzo and Momoshiki. So if they've now changed it to like old characters' secondary jutsu, I don't know if they still have the same properties. I don't know if they will still have the same properties that allow you to get out of guard pressure, because now it's a jutsu and you can't really do jutsus out of guard pressure currently in Storm 4. So let's assume that you can't get out of guard pressure using the character's tilts in connections, even though it's a jutsu now. The primary way to get out of guard pressure will now be dash switching to get out of it, or dash switch countering, because you can't get out of their guard pressure with a tilt, we're assuming, and then now shuriken, well, chakra shuriken, and out of the game. So the only way you're going to be able to get out of guard pressure now is ninja moving under guard pressure if it's character specific, or dashing, switching, and then jumping out of it, or dash switching, countering, if you can still do that. So that's pretty interesting. Not gonna lie, I'm not really I'm not really a fan of this change. Like, it's cool that we get a second jutsu. It adds more variety to a character's moveset. Apart from the old cast, it seems like their tilts were just switched around input wise. But with new characters, that adds more jutsus that they're able to use in the game, which is cool. But I think currently I would have rather them kept it as they were in Storm 4, to be honest. Because I really did like that dynamic of, being rewarded with your knowledge on the game, knowing the character gaps, being able to tilt out of it, then punishing depending on your character's tilt. But we'll have to wait to get our hands on the game to see how that directly affects the gameplay.
And another cool change that I actually like is guard break. Now, guard break is still up on the D-pad, that has not changed, but this time it does not have two stocks. You can just use it during the whole match as many times as you want, but it is on a cooldown. So it's something you gotta look out for once in a while if you are blocking some pressure, but after you dodge it once, you'll be fine because it goes on cooldown and you can relax for a little bit while it comes back.
Overall, I think the next change is fine. Like, it will offer up more ways to open up your opponent that are just, blocking all the time or turtles. And obviously, you competitive players, you can guarantee it by doing, switch combo into guard break as well. So I think at the higher levels of play, we'll just have to look out for more on guard breaks depending on the startup time and the range increase. But overall, it makes sense because, especially because they took out Chakra Kunai, we don't have instant guard breaks anymore. So certain characters could instantly break your guard. So yeah, we don't have that anymore. So it makes sense why, they kind of buffed guard break pills in this sense. But I wouldn't be worried since there are a lot of counters to guard break pills, such as mashing them out of the animation, countering, or just jumping over the attack.
Counter is free. It doesn't make your chakra bar smaller anymore, it's just free.
So not only is counter free, Globeku also mentioned that you can convert off it because it causes a stagger animation, but your opponent can still sub. But shout out to Valen, he actually did a nice demonstration video by modding Storm 4 on PC to showcase how these changes would be implemented on Storm 4, so shout out to him. But yeah, this causes a problem, not only because it's free, but you can actually switch off it to make yourself safe, as Globeku mentioned in his video. Naturally, watch his full video. But yeah, so this could promote runaway meta, where your opponent just chooses to run away. You're forced to chase him. Then obviously, if you don't bait the counter, they get the counter. You get punished, and then they get a conversion opportunity, or they're set up for a sub trap. So that's the only bad thing that I see. They should make the counter more committal. So basically, if you do a counter, you can't switch off of 3 seconds. So you have to commit to it, and your opponent does get a punish opportunity. Because right now it's too safe. And the fact that it can be free in connections and you get a combo opportunity after it, it's not just wake up pressure or OTG with certain jutsus, could really promote runaway meta, I'm not gonna lie. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So I think the changes that has me the most worried is definitely the counter system. Should it really be free? How punishable is it gonna be? And I think it's gonna be stronger now in connections than it is in Storm 4 because it's guaranteed damage. Like currently, right now, you can only get damage off if you throw shurikens or if you use a juicy that hits on the ground. But now that you get that stun, it's guaranteed damage or guaranteed setup or guaranteed sub or guaranteed sub trap, So it's going to make it more dangerous, especially in low health situations, especially. And the other change that has me worried is tilts being reworked. So either your character is not going to have a tilt to get out of a combo because it'll be taken up by a second jutsu, or with all the characters, we don't know if their tilt being a second jutsu will have the same properties that will allow you to get out of guard pressure. So it kind of leaves us with left defensive options, which will cause more people to rely on, counter spamming potentially. So we kind of need to see how that's going to work. Hopefully, it still has the same properties and we're still able to get out of guard pressure, or we might just have to lab that switch to get out of guard pressure or that switch counter. But again, we'll have to wait and see until we get our hands on the game. Big shout out to him for getting us this information when he plays the game and communicating to the representatives that were there. And shout out to Valent for actually being able to help us visualize the gameplay changes because we weren't there with Globeku. We didn't see it. So, big shout out to him. Definitely please check out their channels and their full videos as well. That's going to be it for me. Let me know what you think of the gameplay changes. Overall, I think it's positive, but obviously a couple of stuff does have me worried. But, comment down below what you think and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out. Thanks for watching.